let's talk about the situation happening in Libya right now. So a YouTube video has recently surfaced across multiple social media platforms. I'm talking Facebook, I'm talking Instagram, I'm talking Vimeo. It's endless. So basically in this video, a man can be viewed addressing an unseen crowd, and he's just on some type of big, strong boys for fun muerca. That's what he's saying. And then you just hear 400, 700. It's a bidding war out there, guys. I'm talking people being sold for $400 a piece. This clip is an auction of human beings in our era.
Cape Town is in the middle of a water crisis.
A man claiming to be a buyer then asked,
the way difficult way it was also, in this. I found that the most difficult problem that especially black African artists faced was the question of space, working from home, because all the houses were matchbox type houses, all uniformly built. So I was fortunate to receive a grant from the British Council to study in London. And whilst there, I also went to a workshop in New York where I met some British artists. They invited me to come and work in their studios when I was not busy with my studies. So I took them on their word after studying my lessons at the university. They offered me a studio. I think for me that was the greatest gesture I've ever received from anybody, to have my own space, which I never dreamt of or ever thought I could see people having their own studios with all the facilities. And the idea grew on me that, this is something we also need in South Africa, despite all the problems. But at the time, there were white areas, black areas, and gray areas. So we decided to look around the gray areas, especially the area around the market theater. Museum Africa used to be the central part of the produce market in the early 60s. It became a museum, and after that, there were a lot of sub-industries that were manufacturing Hessian sacks for vegetables and potatoes. So we got this building, and the owner was willing to sell it. But at the time, no black could sign a lease for a building in the city. So we asked one colleague to sign on our behalf. And we've been working in this since that period.
Water and sanitation.
these kinds of auctions happen across Libya and have...
There were always doves that used to creep in here and all that and poo on the paintings. And at times you'd say, no, I'm no more continuing the painting because the dove has signed it, And, the poo was very acidic to a point that it becomes indelible. When you try to repaint on top, you see the stain of the dove's poo. not actually forgetting the past, but the passage of time give us the chance to write our history books. So I chose that area. The sculpture is that of a rock, and this rock was sourced out from Belfast. Belfast is one of the biggest quarries in South Africa, and I had to go there and choose the particular rock that I felt is nice and big enough. The sculpture was supposed to be in front of the building itself, but later we decided that that corner would be ideal for that, mainly because that's where the two roads split, one coming this way, one going that way. People would be able to sort of have a nicer view of that. Rocks and stones have always been sort of symbolic, either of time, either of marking spaces and all that. And in many a case, in graveyards, they still use stones. But for me, it was like almost this rock of ages that was left for us. And I used stainless steel rod to tie it around. So it looks like sort of an imprisoned stone, but also it serves as a reminder of the time we have passed, both historically and, the times of our lives.